Is Lon Dewayne Byfield-Bey?
Yeah.
Okay, now it is approximately, Imani hasn't gotten here yet. It is approximately 4:15 p.m. and Imani hasn't gotten here. I just got through eating the fruit. Some other odd behavior I want to tell you about in reference to me. So it's now 2019. There was this guy that came into Burger King. Okay, well, at the time I didn't know what MIL stood for on a license plate. I would see the license plates, but I didn't know because I'm not knowledgeable of the Navy and the Army. This guy came into Burger King and he was complaining about the bacon, egg, cheese croissant being flat. I said, okay, no problem. So I gave back the bacon, egg, cheese croissant. So now let me back up. Just previously I did it's February 4th, 2019. And I'm gonna try to make this a 5-minute video. So the first time that I just spoke of was I think it was 2016 or at the end or 2 months after I started working at Burger King, about the black male, maybe on the status of Negro, black, African American, going around Burger King saying that we're gonna get this sold, and he had the Army emblem. Now another situation happened. This guy, another black male, he returned the bacon, egg, cheese croissant, and I was like, okay, no problem. He said it was flat, and he was upset. So I said, no problem. So I take the bacon, egg, cheese croissant, and I throw it away, and I tell the manager, I tell the cooks, they redid it. Got it again. I hand it to him. He takes the bacon, egg, cheese croissant, and I think he either walked towards, he's going towards his car. But anyway, he comes back and returns it for the second time. He said it's flat, and this time, and he's really complaining. So this time, I tell the manager. The manager goes in the kitchen and he fixed the bacon, egg, cheese croissant. While he's fixing or correcting the bacon, egg, cheese croissant, I literally walk approximately 10 spaces, or feet away from him, because I could see he was upset. And I didn't know, I was thinking in my mind, well, if he's upset, I have never heard of him saying, I've heard of the bacon, egg, cheese croissant being described as being flat, because you get 3 slices of bacon, egg, and cheese. But he said it's flat. So I didn't know what the manager was going to do to make sure that bacon, egg, cheese croissant isn't flat. But I did tell the manager, because after the second time of trying to correct a croissant, and he's still using the word flat to describe it, then I'm going to tell the manager. So I walk approximately 10 feet away from him or more to start working on the Burger King crowns or doing something else. He walks in front of me. Now I'm behind the counter. He walks in front of me and stares at me like this. And he says, do you have anything for free? Or what can I, no, he said, what can I get for free? And I'm behind the counter, and I'm like, I walked away, because remember Dewayne Byfield-Bey? He was just complaining loud about the bacon, egg, cheese croissant being flat. And how he stood there for a moment, because at the time he didn't say anything. He stood there for a moment looking like odd. And then he asked, do you have something for free? I walked away from him. And later I told the manager about it. And because when I first came to Annapolis, as I was walking from American Extended Stay off 120 Cochran Drive, a black male pulled over and kept saying good morning to me, and I had to call the police about this. I didn't know what to think, but once again, I didn't know the Navy University was behind or close behind Burger King, and I didn't know about Fort Meade, the Army. So I looked at his license plate and it said MIL, and it had a symbol, like the blue symbol, and then it had 4-digit numbers next to it. I looked it up, and it said Navy. I was shocked. I was like, why is he asking if there's something for free, and he is connected or driving a car that's implying to be connected or in the Navy? Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish American National Republic have taught us as Moorish Americans to uphold what we have affirmed to uphold the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. So I was like, while we're trying to live as productive citizens by being true American citizens in this country, to see someone who's supposed to be a protectorate or a protector of this country behave in an odd manner. I don't know if he is in the Navy, but he was driving a car. It was very shocking, and I started to think about how some of these that imply to be in the United States military, these are thoughts, Dewayne, how they behave when they are overseas, because we don't see what goes on overseas. So I'm like, if they behave odd here, where the Liberty Bell is in Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell is in Philadelphia, okay? If they behaving odd here, how do they behave when we can't see them? Okay, so those were my thoughts. And it's something else I remember that was sort of odd. Oh, an American extended stay. One night, one morning, I was going to get coffee, and I walked past the door. My room is 116. Next to my room is 118, and the room next to it is 114. So you have 118 here. This is 116, the room that we're in. And then there's 114, and I would hear mumbling and words coming from both rooms. So one morning, I was going to get coffee, and every time I would walk past, because I needed to get a few things, to get a cup of coffee, the room on 118, the doorknob would shake. And I was like, because once again, I'm not used to this behavior. Imani Gray-Bey and I, hold on, this is Imani now. Islam? Hope, yes I am. If you want to, yeah, I wanted you to. I thought you maybe wanted to eat fruit. I just got through eating fruit and some potatoes. I thought possibly you want to just go straight to the room. Okay, is there something you want me to bring to you? Is there something you want me to bring to you? I know, but what do you want for dinner? Do you want leftovers? That's why I was just sort of treating myself. I was feeling like a little wheezy. So I brought orange juice and fruit because I was feeling wheezy. Yeah, that's why I stopped here, because I was feeling like I didn't know. It's like something. I just felt like possibly, I don't know if it's because we were sleeping with the heat on, but I was like, I don't want to come down with nothing. So I brought some orange juice and fruit and a bag of potato chips. So okay, well I'll meet you there. Okay. Okay, Islam. Okay, Islam. Okay, Dewayne. So anyway, that was Imani. I was telling him to just go ahead and go to the he said he want to go ahead and go to the room. So so I walked past and the door shakes. The doorknob shakes. I go get my coffee. I walk past the door again because I have to enter my room. I got to go past room 118 to enter room 116. The doorknob shakes again. I drop the coffee off because I need to go get another cup. I walk past again and it shakes again, like when I walk past. Now this is, I'm like, okay. I go and get my coffee, come back. This time, as I was coming back, the door opens, and it was the guy dressed in full United States, or I should say military. I didn't see if it said United States, but it was military uniform. And I was like, and why is he dressed in a military uniform? And every time I walk by, and we're among a telepathic community, shaking the doorknob, and the room is right next to room 116. So he's in 118, 116, and 114. So I thought that was really, really odd. I just recently had to write a note, and because as I was going to take my shower, Dewayne Byfield-Bey, someone actually turned the doorknob. Okay, so imagine being in a telepathic community, which we are among, and you have them watching you take you're urinating, you're taking a shower. You might have something, unclean spirit, I should say them, unclean spirit, lusting after you while you're taking a shower, you and your son, Malik Bey, while you're sitting on a toilet stool, you're trying to take a poop. All right, so after they sit around and stalk you while you're taking a shower, you're trying to take a poop or urinate, and then, or while you're sleeping, they might start developing some imaginary infection for you in their sick demonic mind. Whoever, just about a month ago, I had to write a note because someone actually tried to turn the knob forcefully. And I gave the manager of American Extended Stay a note. Now, I would not have done this, but after, because a lot in the note, I also put how people around the room or somebody around the room was saying paid, we paid, brother. But because someone actually tried to turn the knob and I had a towel wrapped around me getting ready to go take a shower, I had to go ahead and write a note and complain. And then Malik Bey, as we will walk to our jobs, we would see a cover from American Extended Stay. I had just fell asleep and I felt like my genitals were being molested while I was sleeping. But on our path, we were walking towards our job to earn money as Moorish Americans, and we saw one of American Extended Stay's covers on the path that we walk on the ground outside. It stayed out there. And I was like, why would someone take the cover? This is after a night that my genitals was molested spiritually, and throw it outside. So, but then it's like, why would someone run around Burger King saying, we're going to get this sold with the army emblem on the back of their truck? Let me think of something else I noticed that was off. Oh, one day I was, like I said, when I listen to the recordings, well, I'll tell you about that later. But otherwise, I just thought I'd give you other things that I noticed about. And remember, in the military, you have those that speak Spanish from Mexico, El Salvador. You have those that are under the status of black, Negro. You got the pale skin. So it doesn't, in the military, you have different people. You got people from India. I told you last week, some guy was like, I know you. I was like, you know me? He's like, yeah, I know you. I said, where do you know me from? He said, you came to 7-Eleven 2 years ago. I said, you remember me from 7-Eleven 2 years ago? I thought that was funny. And also, in dealing with Abasse Malik Bey, my son, I was thinking about him. And so anyway, I'll talk to you about that another time. But I'm going to go ahead and meet Imani at the American Extended Stay. And right now I'm still at Whole Foods. And I'll continue from there. Islam.